go live. All right, everybody. Welcome to this Tuesday night edition of the Live Well here at Fish North Georgia, our Tuesday nighter. And we're so glad you guys could join us. Got a great show and a great guest for you guys tonight. I'm going to make sure I say this because I'm going to be murdering these Spanish words all night long tonight. But Juan Chacon.
You got it.
Juan Chacon with Señor Bass.
You only have to practice that for 20 minutes.
20 minutes. I do that. But anyway, we got Juan on. We're going to be talking all the things that he does. If you don't know him, you need to go check him out because I think half the world already knows about him on YouTube, all your social media, almost 360,000 followers on YouTube. This guy's been around and he fishes everywhere. And looking at his stuff, he's one of the most versatile anglers I think I have ever seen as far as where he fishes. And we might even talk a little bit of hunting tonight. So a little bit of everything. Make sure, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button, click that notification bell, and follow us on all social media at Fish North Georgia. And before the night is over, and in the comment section down below with the description, we will be linking up his so he can get another 50,000 followers with all the stuff that he does. So
yes, sir. Let's do it.
That's it. So Tony, we got some guys coming in right now. So Tony, what's up? Luke Turner, what's going on? Adam W. Fishing. Great you guys could join us tonight. And of course, it being Tuesday night, let me go to my co-host for tonight, Mr. Clint Bartlett, right there. And
how's it going,
Mr. Yamaha?
Yeah, there. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm Mr. Yamaha. I just
you're Mr.
do
Yamaha
some
to
stuff
me.
And make motors look pretty.
You're Mr. Yamaha to me, though. I like that. So, Tony Watkins, what's up? Everything is well. Hope it's all right with you too. And back there running the board, one Alex. I fish at night from the Kayak Fishing, trying to win that tournament on Lanier. How you doing in that thing?
It's over. I placed 25th out of 181 anglers.
Okay, so what percentage is that? That's pretty good. That's
not bad.
That's not bad.
It's pretty good. It's not terrible.
But how many did you say? 181?
Yeah.
Well, you wasn't Mr. 181, so
That's
you
right.
did well, dog. I like it there. So anyway, let's put the camera on our guest right here. Look at this right here. This beautiful man right there. Smile for everybody. So we got Juan. I'll tell you how we got to kind of wanting Juan to be a guest. He is the pastor at Etowah Church. Russell Davis, his wife, Kristen, her father used to live or does still live in Loganville, and Juan used to live beside him. And her father did some fishing, some bass tournaments and all back in the day. But for the last 2 years, I've always heard, hey, you need to get Juan on. You need to get Juan on. And just recently, everything worked out. But after talking with him for about 30 minutes before the show, he does a lot of the stuff we like to do. So we're going to cover electric only fishing. We'll cover some kayak fishing. We're going to cover whether he wants to or not. Lake Lanier fishing. He wants to kind of keep that down a little bit. I'm not going to let him do it. But we're going to have a great conversation, just like we were all sitting around at the deer camp. And you know how we do it here. So Michael Temples, what's up, gents? Cannot wait for this show. Fished a BFL with Juan a few months ago. He was a great boater. So you remember Michael?
I think so. If you can remind me of the lake.
I
fished a lot of tournaments this year.
It might have been on Lanier.
Lanier?
Yeah, he's kind of a short, fat dude. No, I'm just kidding. I know Michael's a good guy. Michael, was it at Lake Lanier? So if you could throw that up there.
Okay. Yeah.
Michael fishes a lot of electric only tournaments as well.
Okay.
So I found
yes, I remember him. Yeah, we had a fun time. He gave me some jigs, some special jigs.
Some
Lanier.
special jigs. Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
So absolutely. So
yeah, we had a great time.
Great time. So anyway, I found out before, like I said, he fishes with high voltage, the electric only club down more south. Kind of, I call them the southern guys and all that. But let's just kind of start with this. I'm gonna throw you a softball question, just kind of get you warmed up. Tell me a little bit, and those that don't know you, a little bit about yourself, how you got started with your YouTube channel, fishing, all that.
Well, I'm trying not to take the full 2 hours, but
go ahead. It's your show.
Yeah. Like you say, Señor Bass Fishing. My name is Juan Chacon. My family and I moved to Georgia almost 20 years ago.
Okay.
I was 11 years old when we moved here from El Salvador, Central America. I'm originally born in California, so went from California to El Salvador, lived there for like 10 years, 11 years, and then came to Georgia, and I've been here ever since.
Right.
Grow up just like a normal kid here in I actually grew up in Norcross, if you guys are familiar.
Oh,
with
they're
area.
familiar with Norcross.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I grew up there, and then you know, how I got to where I am right now. I started my YouTube channel back in 2015, just kind of like you know, trying to spread some good, like a good message out there.
Yeah.
You know, my family and I were, you know, strong Christian believers, and at that time I only had MySpace, I think, if you guys remember MySpace.
I'm old enough to remember MySpace right there.
Oh,
you fished with my jigs.
Your jigs?
I tied those jigs.
Really?
Oh yeah, we'll talk about it later. Keep going. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Anyway, so I had MySpace, and I'm trying to make it like super short, but I was volunteering at that time. I was 19 years old. I started volunteering when I was 19 years old at a prison ministry.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, you know, to when I was like 24, 25. I just got, you know, very sad and mad to see all these older guys volunteering at the prison ministry. And I was like, where are the young guys? Where are the young, you know, guys that want to, you know, kind of take over the world for God, right?
Right.
And I filmed this video on my iPhone 5 at that time outside the prison when I was like 24, 25. And like I say, I only had MySpace. And I filmed this video saying, hey, where are the young guys? We need to go out there and, you know, like visit hospitals and, you know, visit the prison and just do good things in this world.
Absolutely,
you know?
yeah.
And I got home and I had nowhere to post this video. So I opened a YouTube channel, and that was the first video
serious?
that I post on YouTube, you know. And right after that, I was like, I have a YouTube channel now. What do I do now? You know?
Right.
And I tried out a few other things other than fishing, but finally I landed on, you know, I fished already at that time. So like, let me just try to do some, you know, some fishing videos, because at that time, the Google Squad was like coming up.
Yeah.
There wasn't. There weren't the squad yet, you know, the squad. I was following John B and like the Fluke Master. He was very, I know you had Fluke Master.
I had him on, yeah,
not too long ago. So I was following him. I was following John B. So like, these guys are doing something really cool and like teaching people how to fish, you know. And I learned how to fish with them to a certain point. I knew how to bass fish, but you know, certain things I pick up from
the techniques,
you know,
and everything.
Jim Jensen, and I was like, this is a cool way of them doing videos. So I was like, I wonder who's teaching this to the Latino community. You know, in my household and in my family, we're fluent in Spanish. That's my first language. And you know, when I get together with my family and my brothers, that's what we speak.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I was like, I wonder who's teaching this to the Latino community. And I went on YouTube, and to my surprise, there wasn't really anyone posting Spanish speaking bass fishing videos.
Right.
The way that Jim Jensen was doing it, and the way John B was doing it, and the way Flair was doing it.
Right.
So I was like, let me give this a try. And I just start filming myself with my iPhone 5, you know, with the little tripod I got from Amazon.
Right.
And I started like filming on the back of our neighborhood on a pond, and just doing videos like how to throw a Senko, how to throw a crankbait, you know, how to, you know, tie a Palomar knot or whatever.
Right.
And I mean, people, they just started coming to my channel, you know, because there was a need out there. And my channel started growing. I think the first year, which it was 2016, 2017, my channel grew like 12,000 that year. Like
which
from
is
zero.
Awesome back then.
Yeah, from zero.
That's
Yeah.
so awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
these days that's awesome on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like that's not easy. That's cool.
I know, we're not going to interrupt your story, but
oh, you're good.
go ahead and read what that fella said down there at the bottom. Because guys,
Dean,
I don't.
there's Dean. I know Dean.
You know Dean and I. You see that one we got pulled up there? It's in Spanish right there on the bottom. You say it the right way.
Dice, saludos, master, Señor Bass Fishing, Rey Elías. Saludos, viejo.
Yeah.
Saludos para ti.
What he said right there. What he said. So I'm gonna try some Spanish words throughout the night. I promise you that. So it's gonna be a good time with that.
I remember Dean too. He's a good old friend of mine as well. Josue Mendez. ¿Qué rollo, Josue?
Clint, can you move Juan's camera over?
Already did.
You did it. You took care of that. We got him all centered and everything. Guys started kayak, fishing a kayak because you. That's pretty cool. So you got this. Your channel's to the point now, and like you had 12,000, and you're basically targeting the Latino community.
Yeah, first year.
Yeah,
which like I didn't know anyone. I didn't collab with anyone. Like collabs at that time weren't a thing,
right?
Especially me doing Spanish only content here in the U.S. I can almost go out there and say I was probably one of 3 people doing like Spanish content.
So you hit it at the right time.
Yeah. So like I say, it was lucky, fluke, or a blessing.
I'd say blessing.
Yeah,
I would say a blessing. And
it's got to be a blessing to those people that you're giving back to, like your community at that point, to where whether it's 12,000 people, we look at that. Like we get so numb to numbers these days. We're like, oh, that's not. But if you filled up a room with 12,000 people and realize you're teaching 12,000 people, like that's so cool.
That's
for me, it was like my goal was to get to like 1,000 that year. I was like, if I can get 1,000 subscribers, I know I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like 12,000 at the end of the year.
That's
and I was
awesome.
like, man, this is crazy. And people. And then the second year was 100,000.
Well, I wish I could pull that off.
That's
some
crazy.
help right there. What's up, Jorge Pampa? Did I say that right?
Jorge. Pampa.
You guys roll your R's. That's
Jorge.
Jorge Pampa.
Jorge is on the festive water team.
Is he? I just say George. Is that the right? What is?
Or you can say Pampa.
Pampa?
You know what Pampa means? That's his last name, though.
Okay, but does it mean something?
Yes.
What does Pampa mean?
Booty.
Booty. So Jorge Booty.
No, it's a nicer way to say booty, but
write that down. I got to remember that. Pampa.
We bully him a little bit.
Do you? That's all right, though. I'll tell you this. Now, I mean, I'll say this, and this is just from guys coming in the store, and specifically towards the Latino community, because I know fishing and hunting's big.
Yes.
In the Latino community. But I also feel that sometimes they sit back. I know a lot of them do watch the show. They sit back, whether it be a language barrier or whatever, or they feel like, we're the good old boys up here in the country, but the ones that come up here, I have a great time. I have great conversations with them. But I think sometimes we get a few coming in, but I think there's almost like they need someone like you to bridge that gap.
For a fact, Jorge watched your podcast.
Oh yeah. I recognize that name.
Yeah,
I just
for a fact, he, him and I would go back, a long time, and
see, I love it.
He's been telling me about you like way before I knew about you.
I hope it was nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like your podcast.
So Tony says, great job of being able to identify a need and doing something great. That's what this platform is all about. And that is the good in YouTube. It can, like any social media, it can be drug into the sewer, but yours, I mean, it's continued to grow, and you progress from fishing in a pond to then in a kayak, and now you're in what I call a glitter rocket, a bass boat and everything, got you a skeeter and everything. Yeah. So when you first started, did you even expect that to happen?
Not even close. I mean, I'm still like, you need to pinch me right now.
Oh yeah. Well, you want me to do it? I'll pinch you.
I'm still living a dream for sure, and I wouldn't take it any other way. And my process hasn't been like, you get people now that they go viral really quick, and one day they're, nobody knows them, and then, in a week they go super viral. I thank God that, my growth was substantially, I think.
Steady. You had
steady growth.
Yeah. And because I was able to enjoy the process, all the way from, just being at my house, fishing the pond, not having a kayak, not having a boat or anything like that. And then just slowly just progress and learn the game, and enjoy the friendships, meeting people, and just, taking my time doing things right and growing. Because most of the time when you go high really fast, we see that a lot in everywhere. The faster you go, sometimes that's how you fall as well. If you're not careful.
That's right.
If you're not careful. So I've been trying to just enjoy the journey.
Oh yeah, it's been a hell of a journey so far. Now, Let me try this one.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Eso es todo Chile.
Eso es todo, Chile.
Did I say it? What does it really say? How do you really say that?
Oh, this guy, they're gonna start bothering us now.
Listen, if there's something wrong that I can't
No,
say,
you're good. You're good.
let me say that.
We should do that. They need to start commenting Spanish, and then you can.
Yeah.
Read it.
Okay, we can do that.
But yeah, he's like,
How do you say it though? Say that out there. What
eso es todo, Chile.
say it
Eso
again.
es todo, Chile. So it's like, good job, buddy.
Good job, buddy, Frank Garcia. I like it. This just makes it fun. It's almost like a little trivia game inside the podcast for me. So Tony Watkins, God is good, absolutely 100%. Such a blessing just to hear this story. I tell you what, it is good. And then again, that's how I learned about you was through our church.
Yeah.
I know everybody thinks I'm a heathen. I'm there every Sunday on the front row because I need to be. Because I
We
need
all
to be.
need
But
to be there.
we all need to be. But I love it. I love it like that. So that's why I don't fish Sunday tournaments very often. Joe S. Sanchez, great guy. I've been to a few of his kayak fishing tournaments. And then Joe Goodman had a comment up there right at the very top there, Alex.
Goodman, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Keep on one more right there. This guy is kind to all he meets, helps my boys out, and has given advice to those trying to make their way in this industry. So, I mean, how does that make you feel when people put those comments on something?
Oh, it's amazing. To me, I always tell people one of the greatest things that I can, take with me if I don't ever do anything social media wise or anything like that, it's just the friendship and the connections that this fishing world, hunting world had left me with.
Yeah.
I'm kind of old school that way.
Yeah.
I'd rather have $1 million friends than $1 million, because I can ask $5 to all of them, and I'm not good at math, but I will have a lot more than $1 million. I'm not even trying to make math right now.
Right, I know. So,
but that's what I go by. Just kind of do good. Just help out if you can.
That's it. Well, I wish more people would be like that.
Yeah.
More people need to be like that. So our favorite senior says, "What's up, seniors?" And that was Michael Temples, the guy that came by that blowed the horn. See, that's the one thing about this shop. All day long, people come by. They don't have time to come in, but they all honk the horn. And I just throw my hand up and wave. But so Michael was just going by. So he's listening. Make sure, Michael, you're driving safe. Now, I hope you're not watching this on YouTube. Hey, he's commenting. He's driving and he's commenting in the section.
He's about to lose service too.
He is about to lose service. He don't live too far from here. All right, so I pulled up your channel today, and of course it is in all Spanish, so I didn't know a thing. But you don't have to know the language to watch the videos and see that you not only have gone from somebody fishing in a pond, that you've been all over the world. It seems like fishing, catching every species. So when I was kind of describing you today, I put you down as one of the most versatile fishermen I've ever known. Or not known, or have seen, because you're in a little bit of everything, and then of course the hunting and all that. Let's start throwing you some softball questions.
Okay.
What's your favorite species to fish for?
Bass.
Bass.
Sure.
For bass, yeah. 100%.
For sure. I mean, I've been blessed enough to, like you say, to chase a lot of fish from like Spain, bluefin tuna, to Colombia. Doing the whole sailfish market.
Oh yeah, just the whole sailfish. Yeah. No big deal.
Like Baja California, yellowtail amberjacks, those fish, they're amazing. But bass, it
comes down to that little green fish,
you always go back. It's like, what does they say? Like,
once you go bass, you never go back.
I don't know if they say
I just made that up.
I guess we can.
But it's what you grew up. I mean, it's what you started. It's what you cut your teeth on. You always have that little connection with that.
It's
that
like they always
fish.
give you something to chase them for. When you think you got them figured out, they throw you a curveball, or like the season changed, and now it's no more like top water in Lanier.
They're just like women.
Yeah. Exactly.
Once you think you got them figured out, the season
they change on you.
But yeah, like bass fishing is my favorite thing to do. But like you say, I've been trying to get versatile, and that's just, I guess, part of my nature.
Yeah.
I go bass fishing for a month or two, and then I probably get a little bit bored of that. I'm like, let's try to
do something else.
Switch it up. And also, like my YouTube channel, I have seen that like switching things up once in a while is good for the channel. Not that I don't like doing it, but just if I bring like like saltwater content or like we were in Michigan about 3 weeks ago for doing king salmon
Is that
fishing.
not fun?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's some
awesome.
fun
Yeah.
stuff. I got lucky to do that.
And they're delicious too, you know. So.
Yeah.
They're not bad. They're not bad at all. Tony Watkins right there. So God bless us with a good tournament this weekend. Danny Fishers of Hope, thanks you greatly for the advertising. I hope you had a great one. Hope you guys raised some money for the FFA up there, I believe, in Union County. Off the top of my head, I believe that's what it was. Let's start. Hey, we got a question here. And listen, you guys, seriously, throw this man some questions.
Hagan preguntas, todos los que están mirando. Spanish too, right? Jose Jimenez is there. El patroncito grande.
I know you got the camera on my face because I don't know what's being said. They might be talking about my mama. I don't know. But if you guys seriously got questions, and I'll tell you what, we'll open this up a little bit different than normal. It can be hunting or fishing tonight. We're going to talk fishing, but it is hunting season. So if you guys got hunting questions, throw it out there. Let's do that. So David Weaver's question right there. Mm-hmm. What and where? Okay, what and where? I believe it's supposed to be what and where do you like to hunt and for what?
Deer hunting here in Georgia. I don't travel that much for deer, but we go to Mexico every year to dove hunt and duck hunt, and that's pretty fun.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do.
Absolutely.
So I go to Sinaloa and Sonora. Both places are amazing for dove hunting, white-winged dove hunting.
Yeah, for sure.
And duck hunting as well.
Nice.
I haven't gotten into the duck hunting thing. I need to get in the duck hunting thing.
Yeah.
My son does not like to fish.
Thinks
it's the most boring sport in the world, but he'll go duck hunting. Now, he hasn't been in a place like where you've been where there's thousands of ducks. His butt will go sit on Lake Lanier on one of them islands and wait for that one duck on Lake Lanier to fly over, and he goes, fishing's boring. And I'm like, you got to be kidding.
I think you killed 2 ducks with one shotgun and keep one in the rod locker.
You probably could, exactly. Tony wants to know, do you ever come to the Chattooga area and fish up at Lake Chattooga?
Lake Chattooga, yeah.
You ever fish up there?
Yes, one time. I was there with Cass this year.
Okay.
Cass, he's cool.
He's dropping names right here.
Yeah.
Dropping names. So that I tell you what, this is what's cool is, as we've talked before the show, man knows a lot of people in the industry and a lot of names that you guys already know. Fishes with a lot of them. We were talking about Jacob Wheeler and just other people, and of course Kaz and all the guys around here. So that is pretty cool though that your YouTube started from a pond. Yeah. Now you got almost 360,000 followers. You've been all over the place fishing, and you know everybody in the industry. And there's no way in the world you could tell me that was planned from the get-go. So when you say it could be a blessing, I think so. That's you gotta meet this community and get out there and everything.
I was roommating with Jacob Wheeler and Justin Martin.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's awesome. Talk
Dynasty.
About that.
Yeah,
with the cast and blast.
And I'm like, am I here with these guys? Like these are the guys that I, like Duck Dynasty. That was one of my favorite shows to watch growing up.
Yeah.
They're actually. I don't know if I can say this.
Yeah, you can, because you can definitely say it.
Yeah, they're. I think I'm allowed to say it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he won't be mad. They're bringing the show back.
Are they really?
That's awesome.
Next year.
I'll be honest. Awesome. I watched it. I saw when it was Duck Dynasty Treasure or something like that. I saw an advertisement.
They're actually bringing like
the original Duck Dynasty back.
That's awesome.
That's good. I enjoyed watching that show.
Yeah, I remember that was like one of the last TV shows I remember like really watching. Before I graduated high school, because it was like the show. I mean, it was what everybody
watched it,
and they're good people too. It's like that. That's why it went so far, is because it was relatable content, and it was right before content was really big. Right, it was like our first, like, hey, these guys are like us kind of thing, which I thought was pretty cool. And I mean, they've obviously grown their business.
Yeah, Justin told me they were the #1 show, like non-scripted show. Like every year on A&E.
For sure. And now I don't know this to be 100% true, but I've been told this by enough people. And if you're out there, Duck Dynasty, watching for some reason, correct me if I'm wrong, but they self-funded, kind of like we're doing with our TV show, their first like 4 or 5 seasons before they got picked up. And that's when it blew up. So they put their money into it, made that show, and then it blew up. Like that. So, awesome. And the cool thing about Duck Dynasty is people will watch that show, but they also got that little shop. And guys will drive 10 hours out of the way just to go by that little shop, hoping they're in there making duck calls or something like that. So we're trying that model here.
Yeah.
Other than nobody's going to drive 10 hours to see me. But you know what?
You
They might
never
come
know.
see you guys
Hey,
right there.
know.
You don't never know. I am better looking than Phil and all that. Man, I'm getting- could you imagine having a beard like that, though?
Mm.
God, my face would itch.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a beard?
No.
Have
I'm
you?
still trying
I
to
mean,
grow
you got
one.
that
Tried it.
little thing right there you
I
got
tried
going.
it, and I got it to like 2.5 inches, and I was like,
It catches in my
Yeah.
zippers, dude. I can't do that.
I
So,
don't know. I wouldn't know.
let's see. All right. So some people have very serious questions, like Jonathan Farmer, of course. Fishing with Farmer right there. He's got to get the show back on track. When bass fishing, when bass fishing, what is your favorite way to target bass? Offshore or shallow? Now, let me go ahead and preface this by saying he's over there hoping you say shallow because he is a shallow water fisherman. So offshore or shallow? And let's go Lake Lanier.
Yeah, I'd say Lake Lanier.
Yeah.
What
I'm
is
gonna
Lake Lanier?
I'm gonna get some Lake Lanier juice out of you, man.
Where's you
It's
had the hammer guys from Lanier. You had the Mills and the Cass Andersons here.
But listen,
those guys
I understand.
and
But
Tim Hopkins too.
yeah, Tim. Oh, bless Tim. Sorry, Tim's like me. He fishes everybody. He don't know what he's doing. I'm kidding, Tim. I'm kidding. Lake Lanier is that big body of water that everybody fishes, and we like to bring all the different perspectives on that. So,
I mean,
how you like it
I mean,
offshore or
that
shallow?
question, I was gonna say like it just depends on where I am. Like if I'm in Lanier, I probably won't go shallow.
You like the offshore game?
Yeah.
Right, and listen, I've been converted.
Yeah.
I like the offshore game.
But if I'm in other lakes, I don't mind going.
Just depends. Depends. I think on largemouth lakes, shallows.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are going shallow, and I think on Lanier there's enough largemouth. They go shallow too, but there's that offshore bite. And I think Allatoona, if Allatoona had some timber, you guys would be offshore all the time too with them herring now.
I still fish offshore.
You do it
a lot.
anyway, yeah.
You're
an offshore guy.
on Allatoona. Yeah.
There are fish to be caught in both places.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But there are more fish offshore now.
I know, man. I know there are. Tony Watkins said we would love to have you join us in one of our benefit tournaments one day. So hey, you get one. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I'm not going to give you his phone number on there, but you can contact me and I can hit him up, and we'll try to help you out like that for sure. Juan, are you fishing the Toyota Series for 2025?
Most likely, yes.
Okay, there you go.
Nice.
That's what I'm gonna be fishing next year. Most
Yeah.
likely.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's awesome.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
Again, from a pond, now he's fishing the Toyota
Yeah.
Series. You
Yeah.
might be an elite one of these days too. You can make MLF or the elites. You got to keep grinding, baby.
Only God knows about that.
Yeah.
This was actually my first year fishing the Toyotas as a boater this year.
How did it go?
It went good because I'm still alive. My first tournament as a boater on the Toyota Series was Lake Okeechobee.
Yeah.
I had never been there ever.
Yeah.
That was my first time there.
That's a different beast, Okeechobee is.
Pre-fishing, I was feeling very confident because, I traveled with a few guys and we were kind of fishing together a little bit and kind of pre-fishing together. And we were launching like on the north side of Okeechobee.
Mhm.
That's where we were launching for practice. And it was like, you just launch in like 5 minutes and you're on the spots. But the tournament was coming out from the south end.
Yeah.
So
It's a treacherous run.
Did
isn't it?
you cross the whole lake to get
Okay,
there?
so all through practice, I was feeling confident that the weather was pretty terrible during practice. And I was like, oh man, so this is what they're talking about when they talk about Okeechobee. But I didn't have to run across or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
First day of the tournament is blowing, I think, 17 miles or
Which
16
on that
miles.
lake is
Yeah.
nasty.
Yeah. That's right.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, that was my first time, like, almost puking. How nervous I was
Yeah.
for that ride, because I was committed to that spot, up north, and I was like, I don't know, because everybody was just like, even the guys that fished there before, they were like, man, we just gotta get out in the lake and see how the lake is,
Yeah.
and see if it's manageable or not.
Yeah.
If not, a lot of people are gonna be turning around and just like going from plan B or C or D or whatever. So hearing that from them that I
Yeah.
know that they fished there before,
That's
I
right.
was like, oh my God, like what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
This is my first tournament, first time on a bass boat, doing a run that long.
That's a hell of a way to start.
Yeah.
And I
Okeechobee in
mean,
enough water.
I was almost puking. I mean,
Yeah.
my stomach was like up here.
Yeah.
And thank God I drew a local as a co-angler, and he was always God show me some love.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been fishing Okeechobee for like 20 years. He was like an older guy, and he was like, I've been in this situation, don't worry,
He helped you out a lot.
so
on
he
that.
gave me that last little push. I was like, okay, we're going across. And
So you made it up to your spot though?
yeah, so it took me almost 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I kind of hugged the edge,
Yeah, you
like
got-
behind the reeds.
The rim canal.
Yeah, not the rim canal.
Okay, just on the
So
edge.
just
Okay.
on the edge behind some reeds line.
Gotcha.
And then it got to a point that it was pretty safe, and then I just beelined it out there.
Nice.
And it took me like 30 minutes, like 35 minutes to
Yeah.
get there.
Because that lake
Yeah.
is so shallow and so big, a lot of people don't realize
It doesn't take
what a
much.
little wind does
Yeah,
to
it doesn't
Okeechobee.
take much.
Jason Johnson was telling me back when he fished the FLW, they were down there and it was rough, and they actually lost a couple of anglers that year that tried to make that trip across of it. It can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
So that's a heck of a way to start on that. So I get
Yeah.
that. Now, first of all, trip fishing, that kayak still behind you. Yes, I'm going to take it and fish out of it very soon. And there are bags shallow in Lanier too, Danny. Yes, Biggs. Yes, I understand that. I understand that. You didn't see what I saw the other day. That might change your mind. I realize that, but I hope you do well when you get up there. So Juan is a great person, a great fisherman, and I don't. Chulade el viejo, muchos más éxitos. Am I close?
No.
Ah.
No. At least he's honest.
Sigan comentando, por favor.
Por favor, I've heard that before.
Se dice chulada. You say chulada viejo. Muchos éxitos. Which
Sure you
mean,
do.
so whatever you read at the beginning, and then
Yeah.
you're saying, awesome job. Keep grinding.
Keep grinding. There
Yeah.
you go.
That's awesome.
Muchos más éxito.
We're learning tonight,
Mucho
Danny.
más éxito.
Muchos más éxito.
Muchos más.
I love it.
Saludos,
Look at all these
Jefe.
guys. Who the heck
Saludos,
knew?
Acosta.
Well, I didn't know some of you guys could speak Spanish, right there. So I got to learn
There
that.
he
So
is.
Oh, Luis.
that-
Luis. ¿Qué
Luis.
pasó, Luis?
I love this. This is very good because there's a few of these. Most time I don't know what the guys are talking about when they're telling us how to fish. Now I don't even know what they're saying in the comment section. But it's good. It's good. So how about those North Georgia boys making the elites? Yes, Emil Wagner
Yeah.
and Paul Marks Jr. Special shout out to both of those. And what I talked to Emil today, and what I'm trying to put together. We were hoping to do it sooner, but Paul still got a few tournaments he's got to finish up. But before they go to the elites, before their season starts, we're going to have both of them. If Paul Marks will cooperate. Now, Paul, I'm calling you out. Now we got to get you here, son. But we're going to try to get both of those guys together to have kind of like a live well party, a little celebration of them too, and then kind of a kickoff to their season and wishing them all well. But listen, that's an accomplishment.
For sure.
You figure
And
how
the
many
fact they did it in their first year trying, like that's
Yes.
and they came out guns blazing, and it was awesome.
It was
so much
awesome.
fun to watch this year too.
it was.
And the fact that they were doing so good that they had a live camera in their boat a lot this year
I
too.
know.
So that was pretty cool to see your hometown boys on the big screen.
It was absolutely
And now
awesome.
we get to see them on every big screen next year in the elites.
Oh, I
So
know.
that'll be cool.
I know it. We got to make sure we keep them grounded.
Yep.
Humble. I don't think we'll have a problem with those, but they can fish. But that was very interesting to watch, their process because they had to go through the opens and all that.
Yeah.
And so, you might find yourself in that one day. How much do you watch other anglers and kind of, not only how they fish, but how they handle social situations?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah. I mean, nobody pays attention to that near as much as they should.
Yeah, all the time. I made my living off just watching and repeat.
Yes,
But,
right.
Yeah.
You got to learn what to say and when to say it.
Yeah. So I'm fortunate enough to be friends with both of them, Paul Mark and Emil, and
Yeah.
they're amazing. I've been on the boat with both of them, and
Yeah.
those guys.
Oh, they can
yeah.
fish. And Emil's got such great hair.
Yeah.
He does.
I'm jealous for sure.
But I remember, if I'm not mistaken, when Paul Marks was on, We actually asked his mama or something while she was on air or something like that, what product he uses in his hair. And she answered. Like
Really?
Paul Marks Jr. uses product. At least he used to. But
Hey,
it's really cool watching him too.
Yeah.
It kind of gives us old farts something to do, watching these tournaments, watching these young guys. It's great to know them. And so we're going, now that we know Juan, I like my circles just getting bigger of all these famous people right
Look
here.
at all these Spanish comments.
Listen, I know
You're in trouble now.
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen, I just want to say to all the Latinos that are watching something in Spanish real quick.
Whatever you want to say, baby.
Muchas gracias por todo su apoyo. Gracias por estar acá, señores. Sigan comentando, hagan preguntas y gracias a Danny. Thank you, Danny and Clint for having me.
What he said, exactly. What he just said is exactly how I feel. But like it really, I can say that I do see kayak. So kayak translates from Spanish to English because it's just kayak right there. So JC and Luis are trouble. Big shout out for both of them. So, it's pretty cool because you're an influencer, so to speak. But some of the influencers out there, fortunately, unfortunately, really aren't that skilled. You actually are skilled and are putting your fishing to use at the next level and everything. So those guys, there's all those channels out there on YouTube where guys like to talk about how to do things, but really don't know it. And you don't ever see them out on the water or nothing, but you're out there on the water, filming every bit of it and doing all that.
Yeah, for sure. That was, kind of going back to my story, is like one thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to be versatile. That was one of my first things. Because once you discover like the world of YouTube, I never like watch TV anymore. Like to me, like all I consume is like YouTube. And once you start seeing, you see, like I love bass fishing, and that's my favorite fish to chase.
Yeah.
But you really like once you get deep into YouTube, you realize that bass fishing is it's a big portion, but it's only just a portion of the outdoor and fishing world. Exactly. And then I was like, man, it would be cool if I can like teach people, like if I can learn first and then like teach people how to, catch up a bluefin or a yellowfin or, like something, different. Yeah. And I made that a commitment to myself. I know like the more versatile I become, the better it's gonna be for me. And not just by nature, I just like to switch things up a lot, but
it keeps you relevant. It keeps you relevant to do that. So 100%.
Because I know you guys fly fish too, right?
Well, poorly we do fish. It's not pretty, but
that's one of the things that I still like. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, then you need to go with us then. That way we can suck together. So, so Ken, I see that. So go up real quick to going up. Right, stop right there. So Tony Watkins, we had talked about, he had asked about joining some of their benefit tournaments.
Yep.
So he says they post everything on their Facebook page, Fishers of Hope. So not just one, but all you guys go check out Fishers of Hope right there. And then now you can go back down. I'm really making Alex work tonight. Pull up Phillip Hunts. I was going to wait till about midway through the show to talk about this again. But since he said that, Danny just got confirmation the Armed Forces Fishing League is in for a sponsor spot for the Toys for Tots tournament. On Lanier, holler at me this week, and I'll definitely holler at you. So, again, December 7th, Big Shanty Bassmasters, Fish North Georgia, are going to be having at Laurel Park a benefit tournament for the Toys for Tots. Our main sponsor is going to be Digital Sportsman out of Florida, and over the next few weeks, you're going to hear about all these sponsors. We got a lot of great sponsors, a lot of local guys. Sonar Pros is going to be on there. Buford Dam Bait and Tackle, For Her Outdoor Apparel. You name, I've got a list. So Brooks Anderson Fishing. I think Lipsticker is going to come on. So we've got this. So guaranteed first place prize from the sponsors is a minimum of $5,000, and this is a team tournament. $5,000, and then all the entry fees will pay to whatever, depending on how many boats we got. You also, if you want to fish it, you got to bring per angler 2 unwrapped toys, because at the end of the day, look, this is all going to be for the Toys for Tots. We're going to be doing this for the Hall County chapter of the Toys for Tots and helping a lot of kids up there have a good Christmas, and that's what it's all about. The weigh-in's going to be broadcasted live on Fish North Georgia. I'm going to be laying out the rules and everything. If you want to register, it's $80 right now. $80, 60 of which goes towards the pot, 20 goes to big fish. So if we get 100 boats or something like that, that's going to be a pretty hefty big fish prize. And we're also going to do a raffle. Raffle tickets will be sold the day of. Going to have all these companies. I talked to Jordan Lee today. I think I'm going to get a signed jersey from him. I'm going to reaching out to people. So I have really cool stuff for the raffle that will be done that day. If you want to pre-register, the easiest way is to go to Buford Dam Bait and Tackle on Buford Dam Road in Cumming, Georgia. Walk in there. You get assigned a boat number depending on how you sign up. So if you want to go ahead and get on the list, you'll know what you're going to blast off if you jump in there now. And for those of you that can't make it down to Buford Dam Bait and Tackle, I will be taking registration here at Fish North, Georgia. So again, it's a great cause, December 7th. You guys mark your calendar. And if you can't fish it, come hang out with us and bring some toys as well. So we're going to try to make it a day. It's going to be good. We need to get you there. What are you doing December 7th? You hunting somewhere?
I don't think so.
All right, you need to fish our tournament, man, like that. We know it's for Hall County. We're going to try to help some kids out.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll try to do that. But
For sure,
just like you said, though, anytime you get the opportunity to do what's right and help people, you should do it. And so that's what we're doing. What time is weigh in? It'll be at 3 o'clock that day. And again, that's when it will start, of course, depending on how many boats. But I'd love to have between 100 and 200 boats in this tournament like that. And whoever wins, great, we'll give you some money. But at the end of the day, I want to raise as many toys as I can for these kids. And all the money from the raffle, I can say this, is going to go to Hall County Toys for Tots. Anything we make, they get that money. And also, this is a 100% payback tournament. So any entry fee money is going to go back to the anglers like that. So going to be a good time. And we're going to start talking about it from here on to the tournament. So December 7th, mark your calendar. So
it's a team.
It's a team. It can be a team. If you want to fish solo, you can. It's just $80 per boat.
Okay.
Like that. So
who are you fishing with, Danny?
Who am I fishing with?
Yeah.
I'm going to be sitting there eating barbecue or something, waiting for you guys to come back. Actually, I think the podcast is going to kick
with, Clint?
Yeah, who are you fishing with,
I
Clint?
might fish it with Eddie Krauth if he's in town, but if not, I might have an open spot. So
yeah, so well, y'all might can tag team right there.
Yeah. More boats, the better, though, right?
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. So at 2 o'clock, the podcast, what we do here, the live is going to go live on location, and we'll do about, I'd say, an hour before, and then I'm going to walk up on stage, and then I will be doing the weigh in live and everything and just shooting the bull, because my only superpower in this world is talking. So we can handle that. And but you guys go ahead and plan on coming and hanging out with us. A lot of vendors are going to be there, hopefully, and from 12 to 3 they'll be selling stuff, and you can buy the raffle tickets. It's going to be a great time. And I know this is only near, but Allatoona, they have one just over at they got it at Allatoona, and I think the pre-registration's almost up for that one. And it's going to be a really good tournament as well. So they're doing 2. So it's going to be a good time. So you come go see Buford Dam Bait and Tackle, or come see us at Fish North, Georgia. So Ken Pruitt right there. Danny, I ain't going to say that anything wrong. It's Google Translator's fault. So you know what he's saying right there.
He say if we can give an advice for worm fishing. Or at least that's what Google say.
For worm fishing?
Yeah, worm fishing.
So like shaky head. You like throwing a shaky head or anything like that?
I'm more of a Nico guy, but.
Okay, Nico. Let's talk about the Nico.
Yeah, what's your go-to Nikos?
Yeah. What's
your
setup?
The, Ocho from Striking.
I like
it. Ocho, 6-inch Ocho.
Nice.
Yeah,
some colors you like in that.
Yeah.
Colors.
Don't give me your juice.
You don't have to go super
but,
sneaky squirrel on us like the ones you're buying on eBay.
Yeah, but I mean, if I was somebody that
with
didn't
green pumpkin with some kind of flavor,
Yeah.
Throw a little flavor in there. Throw a little extra color, something.
What's your rod setup on that rod and reel?
7.2, 7.3, medium, and just spinning.
Just spinning right.
Yeah, 7.2 with the 15-pound braid to 8-pound fluoro.
Okay,
Nice.
There you go.
I like it.
All right, so Gabriel Correa. Did I say that? That sounds right. Correa.
Correa.
For Mr. Senor Bass Fishing. Are you going to do another kayak tournament this year?
Probably won't be doing another kayak tournament this year, but for sure next year.
For sure next year.
Yeah. And we host one tournament a year. Well, before it used to be 2 tournaments a year, and then the past 2 years we've been doing just one. and it's open to the public, but I kind of cater it to the Latino community
For
and
sure.
promote it on my socials. And each year has been growing tremendously. This past year we had 80 something kayakers there,
That's
close to
awesome.
100 people, with family members, and we do giveaways from the sponsors of my channel, and we just try to um, share the love of fishing.
Let me ask
Yeah,
you
that's
this,
awesome.
because that's the one thing I know. I mean, fishing is one of the things that is colorblind
Mhm.
and socially economic blind. I mean, anybody and everybody can fish. You can fish from the time you can walk to your 99,
Mhm.
like that. Just explain to us, because I really want to know, how big is the fishing community, the Latino fishing community in Georgia?
In Georgia, it's probably one of the biggest ones.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Like Georgia, Texas, Florida are pretty big, but here in Georgia, there's even a Facebook group, Pescadores de Georgia, and I think it has.
Is it all in Spanish?
All in Spanish?
I would join it, but
Pescadores de Georgia. It means fishermen of Georgia.
okay.
So it's a Facebook group for the Latino fishermen.
Yeah.
I think they just hit 800 members, I think,
Yeah.
or 700 members there.
Right.
And pretty much all of them are Latinos. And
Yeah.
I would say 80% of them, 70% of them are from Georgia.
Okay. Very cool.
That's
So
cool.
you get we have a pretty big crowd of Latino people that fish here.
I love it.
You know.
I love it. And you guys are welcome at Fish North Georgia too. Y'all
Yeah.
can come join us over here too. You just got to speak English, because I don't know what you're saying. So pull up Joe Goodman right there. Now, how about this now? Juan, I'll cover the entry fee and we can fish the tournament in mine or your boat.
Perfect. Which your tournament?
My
or-
tournament, yeah, December 7th tournament.
Yeah, let's do it, Joe.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
We got
But
celebrities coming.
They want more boats, so we can talk about that.
Yeah, you might want to. Yeah, y'all might
Yeah.
can have two boats.
I fished with Joe before.
Do you? Okay, there you
Yeah,
go. And then
it's-
Michael said you caught some pigs with the Nico on Lanier in the BFL. So listen,
Uh-oh.
I'm good
Uh-oh.
buddy.
Uh-oh.
It doesn't work on Lanier. It doesn't work on
I'm
Lanier.
good
Where's
buddies.
Lanier again?
I'm good buddies with Michael, and for the right price, he's going to tell me. Michael
Where's-
Porter. Well, they have a Google translator. I will definitely try that and all that. I think, but I do think, because we're over 20,000 followers just on our Facebook, on our
Yeah.
group page, and sometimes certain segments of the population are not as represented as much as they should be.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
so if there is a big, Latino, African American, it don't bother me. If you can fish, jump on there. So
fishing is huge in Latin America. Fishing,
yeah,
it's like you say, right? It's a poor man's sport. If you want
if you want it to be,
if
yeah,
you want to call it,
anybody
like
can do it.
that. Yeah, anybody can do it. There's hundreds of ways to catch a fish, or spear a fish, or whatever.
Yeah,
And even I think, like, in Latin America, it's even more dear to a lot of people's heart, just because a lot of people, that's what, like, they go out and catch and bring home to the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like I told you before the show, I get the opportunity and the chance to visit countries like Mexico, Colombia, and I see how people see fishing there, and they like you say, it's a universal thing. Like, if you're a fisherman and I'm a fisherman, it's like we're known each other for
Absolutely.
forever.
Yeah.
They take it even a little bit deeper, down there, because some of those people, that's how they make their living. That's how they put their food on the table for their family. So they take it too hard down there. And I always love to Mexico. I'm a big Mexican advocate, if you want to call it like that. Even though I just have friends from Mexico, and they're like family to me. But Mexico is a beautiful, beautiful country too, and cheap too, like really, really cheap, to go and just go explore and go fish and go hunt.
Mhm.
And it's if you guys want to get out of your ordinary, or just try to switch it up. I send people to Mexico all the time, just friends of mine from here, from the US. I connect them with people down there.
Sounds like a trip.
yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
guy's weekend.
good.
right
like
there.
fishing with Norm. Are
Yeah.
you familiar with him?
Yeah.
I took him to Mexico 3 years ago, and he's been going back every year since.
That's awesome.
But on his own with
Yeah.
my friends down there. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, he done made friends down there now. He don't need you.
Oh yeah, he don't need me. You know?
He don't need you.
He like, I'm going to Mexico. You want to come? I'm like, bro, I can't. He like, I'm going anyways. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, for sure. So Joe Goodman says, what is the best outfitter guide service you fished with in Mexico? I believe you fished with Christian there. So do you have any recommendations off the top of your
Yeah,
head?
I mean, one of the best lakes that you can, like if you're a first time Mexico traveler to fish, I would say you can't go wrong with like Lake Bakarat.
Oh, that's where Buka goes.
Yeah.
Big fish in
Yeah,
there.
he's been going there for a long
He
time.
loves that. He came up
Yeah.
here to the shop and sat for a couple hours. And
It's
it always comes up.
It's super American friendly, if you want to call it like that.
Yeah.
It's,
I'm not going there. American friendly. What is that? What does American friendly mean?
No, it's just easy to get to.
Yeah.
Most of the guys speak some kind of English.
Yeah.
And then like the food has been modified a little bit to
The American diet.
to our taste.
Yeah.
And
So they
then,
got hamburgers, is what he's saying.
well, not necessarily.
Very
but,
actual mild salsa.
Right.
but they do it right. But Lake
Yeah.
Baccarat, they do a lot. They do it right. El Salto, I've been there once, and they do it really good too. Where Christian Greco and I went last year was Lake Cuchillo, and that's in Monterey.
Okay.
That's closer to the border. And there are a few guys there. They're just not outfitters.
Right.
You get the whole package in like Lake Baccarat or Lake El Salto or even Lake Chapala.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know where those
No,
lakes
I ain't
are.
got a clue is what you're saying, but
But-
my job is supposed to smile and nod.
Yeah.
Smile and nod.
But
Ooh, look at there. Your buddy's in the house, Emil Wagner. JC is in the house right there. So there's the beautiful Dane right there. So hey,
what's
we
up, Emil?
already said congratulations to you and everything, but we look at
He needs to update
Hola,
his profile
amigo.
picture.
does what does that mean? What is hola?
Hola,
Hola.
amigo.
Hola.
That's hi.
Hey amigo.
He calls me he say I'm his favorite Mexican that he knows.
Is that what he said? You're not Mexican.
But I'm the only Latino guy that he knows.
Well, that's funny right there. But again, Emil, congratulations, man. And we look forward to getting you and Paul and them on the show.
His name is not Emil anymore.
Well,
His name is Mr. Elite.
Mr. Elite Wagner. Elite Wagner right there.
Mr.
So
Elite.
is that how you say it? Elite?
Yeah.
Elite. I like that. We're going to say that. For
Elite
Elite.
Wagner.
I've noticed a lot of guys in the comments section. Oh, first of all, Michael Porter says Nico works well on Lanier. Daiwa Fat Nico is a great option.
Uh-oh.
So he's throwing some juice out there. So just out of curiosity, because I see kayak, but the picture I put up, you're in your skeeter and all that.
Yep.
If you had the choice to fish between a bass boat for the rest of your life or a kayak, what would it be? You only get one for the rest of your life.
It's bass boat.
Bass boat. Why is that? I know the answer already. Go ahead and tell everybody why.
Once you go bass boat, you don't go back.
But you enjoy the kayak.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I got to get my butt in that one behind me right there.
I love river kayaking a lot.
Yes, I bet so.
So like the Omogi River, even the Chattahoochee above Lake Lanier is really fun float. Good fish in there.
Yeah.
The Omogi is probably one of my favorite.
You get down there in them shoal bass.
Oh yeah.
See, that's on my.
Big
I haven't caught a shoal bass yet, so that's on my bucket. That's one of the reasons that kayak's going to do it. Right
I caught a 5 and a 4 something about this time last year.
What'd you catch them
That's
on?
awesome.
Chatterbait.
Chatterbait
That's
right
awesome.
there. So
Yeah, shoal bass, both of them. Like
That's so cool.
like 4 casts.
That's a
with-
fish of a lifetime for
Yeah.
a shoalie too.
it's
That's
a
awesome.
big old shoulder right there.
yeah.
So Tritt, of course,
Oh,
he did
there's
the
Matt,
opposite
too.
right there. Oh, Matt. Yep, there he is right there.
Chupapi.
Chupapi. I assume that's something good, what I said right there. So Tritt said I did the opposite. I did the bass boat, then the kayak, and now I can't imagine not having either. So
Yeah,
I
that's why
get
you have
that.
both. I still have 4 kayaks at my house.
Yeah.
So you just pick, and if you fish like 3-4 days a week,
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
right now we're hunting, but
Yeah.
I still enjoy it, and I still go out there. But going like 4 days out on a kayak, it's kind of brutal.
It's hard on us, old
especially
man.
when you get out in the
How
30s.
old are you now?
I'm 35.
34. You're still a baby.
Yeah,
Right there. So Michael Temple says Juan has a pretty sweet electric only boat also.
Yep.
And that's something we talked about. I did not realize he fished with high voltage
Yep.
down in South Georgia and all
That's
that.
awesome.
And so, maybe we'll bump into each other in the electric because that's what I do mostly, unless I get in with somebody's boat on Lanier and everything. So
Let's do it.
try to talk him into coming up to one of these trails up here since now he lives up this way. So just another hammer we would have to deal with. I don't think people realize just how good a fisherman there are in electric only.
Electric only. Oh yeah.
Good Lord, there's some hammers out there. They can
everywhere
fish.
now. I mean,
Yeah, kayak, everything.
from kayak all the way
Mhm.
to the Bass Pro Tour. I
100%.
mean, there's a lot of good fishermen.
Well, Jordan
out there.
Lee's got him an electric rig too and
Yep.
everything. So they're all
Yeah.
getting into it.
Yeah.
It's the wave of the future. Just wait till you get like a 200 horse electric.
Yeah.
It's like 255 volt system on the
Yeah.
back of your thing. So 4 windy days in a bass boat and you'll know worn out. I agree with you,
Yeah.
tremendously like that. So let's go ahead and establish your future in fishing right now. What are your plans and what are your goals? And we'll talk more specific stuff, but I want to make sure I get that on record. What's your plans for your YouTube channel, and then what's your plans as far as pursuing fishing professionally?
Well, as far as YouTube goes, I just brought someone on board like 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
and he's gonna help. Like he's really really good as far as like filmmaking, producing, and,
Right.
and all that. So he's full time with me now. So we got like a lot of projects and things
Right.
that we want to do, travel, and just amp the quality on the channel and just try.
Take it to the next level.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Is that your full-time gig now?
oh yeah. It's I've been full time doing YouTube since 2019.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And
He's doing what we all dream of doing.
the
Yeah.
first 2 years I did it on my own, and then these last 2 years I had editors and camera guys with me. But I think I found the right one. Not saying that the other ones were bad, but I think that we have a good chemistry, and he loves fishing and hunting just like I do. He's crazy about it. He's out there right now dressing a deer on the field right now.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. I like it. I love it.
He's awesome. So I think we're gonna do some awesome things as far as just traveling, keep pumping content, fishing videos, hunting videos, because I have a separate hunting channel.
Yeah.
as well.
Senior hunting.
Señor Cazador.
Senior Cazador.
So
I like it.
and
Yeah.
then as far as like tournament fishing goes, whatever Emil tells me to fish next year, that's what.
Is that what it is? Okay, well, let me ask you this. Since like you're friends with guys like Emil and other guys that are in the business, how much do you pay attention to their advice? Do you seek their advice on certain lakes or the next decision as far as, where to fish or what trail? Like, you mentioned, you're going to listen to him. So like if Emil came and said, hey, I think you should go for the opens next year or whatever he says.
Yeah.
How much credence do you give to that?
A good bit. Everybody has their motives, right? Why they're fishing.
What is your motive?
My motive is friendships.
Good as anything.
So
out there.
I have really really good friends, and I don't know if I can say this, but like Emil and I last year, we had a pretty, I would say, heart-to-heart conversation with him because he went to the opens. He was fishing the Toyotas the year before, and we had this kind of group going on.
Right.
And this is not even like like what people say, like sharing things or whatever, just the camaraderie, I guess, or just the friendship we built. And one of the things he was struggling the most between, and I'm speaking for him.
Oh yeah, so go ahead.
It's-
He's good with it.
No, you're good.
One of the thing that was like on the edge of him going to the opens or staying, with the Toyotas or going to, because I think he got an invite to the Taco Warehouse, was the friendships. You
Yeah.
know, it wasn't even like sponsors or anything like that. But he was like, man, I built such a great friendships, you know, while doing the Toyotas and all that this year, that if I jump into the opens, I pretty much have, you know, no one there.
Got to start over
Yeah,
with some of that and everything.
So for me, it's a little bit of that. I would say a lot of that for sure. You know, just Joe Goodman is a good example. We did some of the Toyotas together last year.
Yeah.
We stayed together on an Airbnb, you know, when we were in Florida a few times.
But it's that human element.
Yeah, for sure.
It's that human element that, again, it gets overlooked when guys are making this decision because everybody's thinking about money. They are thinking about sponsors. They're thinking about the trophies they can win.
Yeah.
But you do make friends that you have to make some tough decisions from time to time. That might affect those friendships, at least as close as much as you guys could hang out.
Yeah.
That might suffer a little bit.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That's the side of it not a lot of people talk about.
As far as like the organizations go, I think they're both pretty fair, you know, pretty fair and good to an extent, you know.
Yeah.
But
Let me ask you this. Did you agree with him going or did you want him to stay?
Who, Emil?
Emil, out of curiosity.
I wanted him to stay.
So I get that, but
you're our boy. Come on.
I understand.
And I just thought, you know, for his style, I think the Bass Pro Tour would have fit him better.
Right.
But I mean, he proves that he can catch 5 anywhere and big ones anywhere. So
yeah.
But you know, he's a fish catching machine. So I'm like, bro, like you can make the Bass Pro Tour, and you're gonna be every 3 seconds catching a 2-pounder. You know,
yeah.
You know, because that's kind of like his style. You know, like he just goes, and
it's a very interesting take on it though. That I
Sure.
never thought about just having buddies saying, "Oh man, you need to do this or you need to do that," and you have to make that decision based upon. Of course, you got to make it based upon what's best for you.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of consideration that a lot of guys don't think about that. So, I mean, that's probably the first time we've had that conversation.
Yeah, we talk a good bit, you know, especially now that, you know, the season is over. A lot of people are trying to figure out, you know, what they're fishing next year, you know, what sponsors they're going to be working with, you know, if they're getting dropped from somewhere, you know, trying to get another sponsor,
right?
Things like that. So,
because the industry's tough right now. I mean, it's really tough on everybody. So I mean, this is the time of year where everybody's scrambling, and what do you lean towards is the connections that you've made, the friendships that you've made, and that's like one of the hardest parts of the industry is it's not just catching bass anymore. When you want to start getting heavy into the tournament scene, like Emil and Paul qualifying for the elites, like they're not just fishing anymore. It's a business. They're an entertainer. They're a customer of the organization that they're working for. Like, and they have to provide, and they're not going to have any problem providing entertainment. I mean, they did all year on the opens, but you have to start switching that mindset to I'm just catching bass to I'm catching a bass and I'm supporting all these people that have supported me. How do I give back to them and catch bass? Like you take on a lot more on your plate, I feel like. But the nice thing is like they're going in with all of this experience and catching them. Like they know how to catch them and they know how to make these relationships. I mean, look at how they started out fishing tournaments around here and building those connections. And like when it used to be, they'd show up and they might not cut a check, but now they're taking everybody's money. It's like they worked for it. They started from the bottom. It's not that they didn't just hand them brand new boats and say, hey, go catch them. And they just caught them because they turned on lights.
See, like one thing is like, how long can you afford to be doing that though?
Yeah.
Because there's only a handful of, you know, Brian Trith, Jacob Wheeler, you know, Dakota Eber.
Yeah.
And, you know, like Emil Wagner now, right? Like he has proven that, and Paul Mark as well, that they've proven that they can catch fish consistently. Mm-hmm. But how long they can keep that up. So that's when you got to realize that you also got to look up into the, you know, the business side of it, you know, like let your catching fish do the talk, you know,
right,
to a certain extent, but make a plan B to where like, okay, if I'm not really like, if I'm being Señor Bass and sucking in most of the tournaments, right? You know, what's your plan B? You know, so
like you still have to bring
social
value.
Media comes in place. That's when you gotta like kind of market yourself and go to work in the opposite. You know, like when everybody's sleeping or whatever, you're out there, you know, editing videos, planning trips, and just, you know, hustling.
You gotta hustle.
Exactly.
You
make
got to
that.
hustle. So good looking sweatshirt, Danny. Absolutely. I'm gonna have some more coming in hopefully soon. All right, let's go ahead and get your take on this. What is your take on Bass and MLF about live scope? So you know it's all in there. I mean, you four, and you can throw the MPFL in there. Let's throw them three. One banned it. One kind of tweaked their rules a little bit as to when you can use it, and then one said, "Hey, we're just going to limit the screens, all that." So, in your opinion, which one is the best?
I mean, for the good of the sport, I think they're all doing good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they all have good intentions, and I support it just because it was getting out of control. It was getting crazy.
Oh, it was.
Like,
it was.
You know, I remember last year showing up to the Toyotas, and I started seeing like trolling motors on the back as well. Like, what's going on?
It's in the electric world too. You know, you got two live scopes and all.
World,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, you know, it just I come from a very simple background of fishing. You know, like bank fishing and kayak. So to understand the industry kind of has ruined, or the technology or just the culture now has kind of ruined the path of people getting into the sport, you know, like easily,
right?
Especially if they want to compete. They were making it almost impossible for people to, like, you will count yourself out. You will be like, man, if I don't have 3 light scopes, I might as well not going into this tournament. So, you know, for that, I would say I think they're all doing the right thing on their own way. You know,
what's best for their business.
Yeah, exactly.
Way, yeah.
But as far as like
you personally
picking one,
yeah.
I think MLF is probably the regulations that I like the most.
That you like the most.
That make the most sense to me.
So some periods with it, some without it, some days with it, some days without it, those kind of things.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's for that format, it's gonna play into the strategy. You know how, because they're gonna pick what period they're gonna use it, and what period, you know, what period they're gonna use the light scope or the live sonar, and so for that format to make the strategy, I think it's gonna make it more interesting to watch it, you know,
to see how they
especially
decide.
You know, the period that they won't have the scope, you know, and see how they adjust on it. So I like that. And as far as like MLF all the way down to the BFLs and the Toyotas as well, you know, I like how they kind of like let the Toyotas kind of, you know, they put some restrictions, but they didn't go like crazy. Yeah. And I like the way how they did the high school as well, where they don't allow scopes, right?
I think so. Any MLF kind of sanctioned high school tournament, they banned it.
Yeah, so I think that's good. I mean, let this kid kind of go out there and, you know, throw a jig, throw a wacky, throw a spinner bait, you know, throw a buzz bait. They will have plenty of time to mess with the electronics later on, and it doesn't take that much because I don't consider myself like a scoper, you know.
Right.
But I mean, it didn't take me that much to kind of learn the ways. Of the sensei, you know, Emil.
Of the sensei Emil.
And Paul Mark and Cass, all of those guys are just.
Oh, Kaz! You want to hear Kaz Anderson?
Oh, dude, Kaz Anderson. He's been out. He's been quiet lately. I haven't heard nothing.
But do your best, Kaz Anderson. I think it's spot on.
Oh, what do you
just say, Kaz? Just say, Danny, I love fish North Georgia.
Danny, I love fish North Georgia, and dude, I just can't tell how big these spots are going to get on Chattooga, but one day they're going to be bigger than Lanier. I swear.
Is that not Kaz Anderson? It's like that is the best Kaz Anderson, other than the real Kaz Anderson. It does not get any better than that. John G. Wilson.
Close your eyes, you think Kaz is here.
I mean, serious, because that's the way he talks. Yeah. I love fishing with him like that.
Yeah,
but
awesome.
It does not change. Even when he's excited, it's just that.
Dude, he just gets all fired up.
He puts that D on in the fired.
When he goes like, ugh.
Oh, dude, he's on it. He's got it. He's got it,
Dude,
dude.
just give me one good one with Becky in it.
Oh God. Oh, dude, I skipped that jig up under that dock, and dude, I felt that tick, and old Becky was on it, dude, and the fight was on, and she was a flopping and a flipping, and dude, I was shaking like a leaf.
Is that not him? That is
So I
absolutely.
guess he doesn't tell me the stories only. He tells everyone those stories.
You don't know about Becky?
Oh yeah.
You know about everybody knows
yeah.
about
Yeah,
Becky.
everybody knows about Becky.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to meet Becky, just because apparently there's a real Becky up there. So, but anyway, that's fun. But again, just having that laugh that we just had, that's just and Kaz, I know and Kaz, and a lot of the viewers know Kaz, and so you know when you do that, that's that relationship you built, and instantly that he's doing Kaz Anderson's voice right there and everything, but he's a hell of an angler.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
This.
For sure. And he came from like that rank too, like college too, right? Like high school.
Yeah, he fished in college, and I mean, he was guiding at 15.
Yeah. So
I did a podcast with him. And he was 16 years old.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We called him the Prodigy. He
Wow.
came down. Yeah, so he was probably our 5th or 6th podcast. So we actually did at Fish North Georgia. His daddy
awesome.
drove him down here and stayed and everything. So
That's cool.
got his looks from his mama though. We'll say I always tell him that.
Yeah.
So, but I love Kaz, and he comes from a good family.
And he's fishing MLF next year.
Is he going to do MLF?
No, I don't know.
Huh? Are you trying to throw something out?
No,
You heard it here first.
We need to
Kaz
bring him
Anderson's
here.
fishing the MLF next year. No, so that's what Juan said.
I like to stir the pot a little
You like
bit,
to stir the
but
pot a
That's
little
not
bit?
true. That's not true.
All right, well,
I don't know what he's fishing next year,
how about this?
or maybe.
Since you know a ton of people. Who's the best angler you ever fished with?
Oh man,
Got to pick one, man. You
I
gotta
gotta
one.
pick the one that is gonna not get mad the most.
No, you make them mad. It doesn't matter. I'll take that for you. Who's the best angler?
Oh man. Oh, like fishing with them? Oh, like
Yeah, fishing with that you have fished with. And it doesn't even have to be somebody we know. I mean, just anybody in your mind who's the best angler. And it could be all species. Just
I
all
mean,
around.
it's gonna sound cliche and it's gonna sound crazy, but I mean, 2 weeks ago I was fishing with Jacob Wheeler,
That's a good choice.
and he was throwing a frog, not scoping or anything like that. We were just throwing a frog. Actually, a story that is probably never gonna air out. We did a 3-hour kayak tournament. He got on a kayak for the first time ever and fished.
Uh-huh.
And we did a 3-hour tournament. The most amount of fish win. I was on fish 5th. He was on fish 13.
He caught 13 for you caught 5.
And we call it good. I was like, bro, like I was like, I don't want out of a kayak, for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Fishing out of a kayak.
What lake were you on?
Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Well,
And
if you fish, you can fish at anything. Some people just got it.
and I mean, like, and then we jump in a boat, and then he was throwing frog, and it just I never seen anyone throw the frog how he was throwing it, moving it, how just these guys when they get to that level, they're so methodical with just everything, how they do it, and just
details.
Yeah, like smaller, but like people don't understand it. It's like you, right? You've been in a boat with Cass, and have you been in a boat with Emil?
Not yet, Emil.
But or like Paul Mark, and like you gotta just see it.
Yes.
To like okay.
Yeah.
Like this is like,
and it's like watching it on live or their YouTube videos is not the same because like once you get in the boat with them, like a couple weeks ago, I was in the boat with Brandon Polnick for a couple days, and just like how dialed the casting, the way he picks up his rod off the deck and makes a cast and lines up a cast and lines up with 360, like just the way they break it down, like each cast is so calculated. Whereas I'm feeling like, oh, that kind of looks good. Oh, I meant to cast 15 feet to the right.
They just don't waste any second. No. Every second they have a plan for every second of their day of fishing, pretty much. And they have it like planned out, and they know I mean, like this dude was Jacob Wheeler was grabbing the rod. You know how he does like the one hand thing.
Yeah, the one-handed cast.
You know, and you see that on a video, and you're like, okay, it's a one hand deal, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But then you see it live, like in front of you, and this dude grabs the rod and just throw this frog 2 miles with one hand, just like and exactly where he wants to put it at, you know, with one hand. I mean, I wouldn't need like 2 extra arms, you know, to like cast that far and like to put it where he's putting the frog, and just you know the way he's working it. So it's crazy.
It is
so
crazy.
It sounds probably cliche, but there's no what do you call it? It's not coincidence that he's probably one of the top,
one of the best.
Yeah, no,
one of the number ones. To me, he's the number one.
The number one.
For sure.
There are a lot of guys out there that feel exactly the same way as you. It's funny you talk about details and learning and seeing something. Just even with Underwood, fishing that tournament with him, he sat right here and giving us podcasts, telling us what to do. But until you're on the boat and you see it in action, and if you're smart, you're a sponge, you know, and you're absorbing all this.
For sure.
But you're talking about the details, the exact way they would cast. No, because I'd throw something that, nope, you're never going to catch that fish.
Yeah.
Being able to pinpoint details, do the plan and stick with the plan. And sometimes it works, but you stick with it and all that. So Jacob, I mean, and that's, you know, and Kevin's a great local angler guide and all that, tournaments around here, but I can't imagine how even more specific it gets on the pro level,
I mean,
like
these
you're
guys
saying.
are dial. It's crazy how dial they are, and they're dial all the way through. You know, like mentally, you know, physically, probably the least. You know, but like mental game gotta be like
strong.
Like, that dude pretty much won our little kayak tournament. You know, minute one when we were like trash talking and just like.
That's what I was getting at. Before you even made your first cast, he probably had it. You were in his head.
For sure.
Or he was in your head, you know, whatever.
And, you know, I fished with him. You know, this was probably my 3rd time fishing with him. So it wasn't like I was intimidated by him or whatever, you know, but just that's how they live. That's how they walk, you know, like they go to bed with the confidence. They wake up with the confidence that high. So it wasn't like I was intimidated or anything like that, you know. Like,
but you just knew he's got it.
I didn't know that. I was like, man, I'm confident too. I was like, I can take this dude on a like it's first time on a kayak, you know. Like, what is this dude gonna like? He's gonna choke, 100% gonna choke. Like, and if there's anything I can beat him on, it's gonna be on a kayak. And I was like, I'm about to lay it on him. Nope. I was so wrong. But tell you what, okay, so because this is my 2nd time going to this event. It's called like Cast and Blast. It's put up by Academy Sports and Outdoors. And I've been lucky and fortunate that they had invited me 2 years in a row. So last year I beat him, and this year I beat him again at shooting. So he's really, really bad at shooting.
Oh, his weakness.
So I found his weak spot. And so what happened with the kayak, we did the kayak tournament right after he got beat at shooting. And like Justin Martin and me and the other guys, we were like giving him a hard time when he was, because bro, like you put a gun on his hand or a shotgun, you're safe.
So what you're saying is Jacob Wheeler cannot shoot.
He's not gonna shoot you, man. You know, you gotta be like right in front of him for you to be in danger. But so we were giving him a hard time, and right after that we went kayak fishing. So he was like.
He was motivated.
He was fired up. He was
motivated. I get that. Michael Temple says, I picked up a lot of info from Juan during that BFL. The details in the bait choice and the hooking the bait is so crucial. He shared a ton of info with me. So just out of that comment, first of all, it's pretty cool that Michael says that about you, but give me an example of how you hook a bait that might, just pick any bait that maybe you hook a little different or where that is so critical in the performance of that bait. Did you hook your fluke? I tell you what, how about this? How do you hook a fluke?
Oh, I'm really bad at
that's okay.
Soaking a fluke. I'm still learning that game.
Okay.
But like, I don't know. I would say, like, I think that day specifically like early in the morning. I had my limit I had like 15 pounds by like 9:30, and that was the throwing
That Nico,
the Mickey.
the Mickey. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And it was just like I mean you're whatever you're using. I use the baby seat too a lot, and it gotta be just right. Gotta be straight. Gotta use the right weight, right size of line. Just especially when you're scoping. A lot of people think scoping, oh, you're cheating or whatever. It's far from the truth. There's a madness to it for sure, and especially like if you're trying to be like really really good and like not be mediocre.
Right.
You have to pay attention to everything, just everything from the jig head that you're using. Make sure that it's a good quality jig head to like the way you rig it, and I mean
just attention to details.
Yeah,
and all that.
the Nico, just putting the weight right. Putting the I like to use the BMC, like the Nico.
The Nico hooks. They got the little 2 tags on them.
No, the Nico rings. The
rings.
Ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to use that, and the Nico hooks. I use owners as well.
Okay.
I think I have a better hookup ratio with those. I'm not 100% sure, like
but you got confidence in
it. The actual model of it. But I mean, you have to just. When you're there and you're seeing it in front of your eyes, you gotta pay attention to everything that is going on. Like the bait, the fish, whether how far below they are.
Yeah.
What they're doing, how they're reacting to your bait. They might come and short strike it, and maybe maybe you shook it too much, or maybe you need to change the color a little bit and try something different. So that day I changed the color as well. I remember.
You remember that? So
I'm going back in my head. What happened?
Yeah. So pull that. He showed me some secrets with a shaky head and a special head. Like Mike, like we're buddies now. You're gonna have to come in the shop and let me know that. How about this? Let's say you're throwing your Nico and you're not getting bit. What do you do first? Change the colors or change the bait? As far as like decide to do something different. How long do you give something that's not working before you change the color?
I mean, now with the scope. Like you cast to like 3 different fish and they react the same, then you start thinking about doing something different. So
would you do the color first or just say, yeah, they're not biting a Nico, I'm gonna go to the shaky head?
It's just the way that how they chase it, like the way they react to it. If
you can come on, spill some juice. I know you think like, do I want to say this? That's
like I'm like I say, I'm still like super new at it, but just the way they chase it, it's hard to like see, like if you're not there, if you're not seeing it, like what we were talking about it before,
right?
But it's just you gotta see it, especially now, like I say, with the scope, you can see exactly like, okay, the mood of that fish is a very aggressive mood. Why he went down and didn't eat it,
Yeah.
So then you change the color. Okay.
Yeah.
And then so the fish, if your bait goes in front of that fish and he's not like on that mood, he just kind of like goes out there and looks at it and goes back. Probably not the bait.
Probably not. Okay, I got you.
I mean, it's kind of simple, but you gotta see it.
You gotta see it.
You gotta see it. You gotta be there. You gotta see how the fish are reacting. Like,
and you can pull up in one pocket and they're acting one way, and then you pull up, you go try to replicate it, and they're acting completely different.
You can't catch other people's fish, and you can use
sure.
other people's like. You gotta create, and that's one hard learning curve that I learned. Fishing the Toyota this year. Because to me, like I was doing like the research and just like seeing what people were using and like this and that. And I found myself having more success this year when I was just doing my thing and just fishing the way I feel comfortable fishing and the techniques that I feel comfortable fishing. Now, can you learn new things on the way and like work on that at home?
Mm-hmm.
I did that this year, and I think that helped my game, this year.
Right.
Where I went to Chickamauga and learned some things from up there. and I was like, okay, this is worth like keeping and like keep learning and just the whole like ledge fishing there is crazy,
Yeah.
but
It's a different world.
yeah, it's crazy, and but there's some basics that you can keep from there, and you can like learn it and practice at home, but on a tournament scenario, I mean, you just gotta go with your gut.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Gotta go
Tournament
with
day
your
is
gut.
not the day.
Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with. And
Got you another Spanish comment right there. So Fabrizio Vasquez. I bet I got close to saying that right.
yeah,
Uh,
Vasquez.
Sheesh.
Come on, El Hombre.
El Hombre. I thought when I said that,
Come
I
on,
honestly
El
like
Hombre.
I thought like, dude, I nailed
So
it.
they're watching us from Mexico right now, from Guadalajara.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Guadalajara, Mexico.
Well, from America to Mexico, thank you very much for watching us here
Yeah.
at Fish North Church. We got a great guest.
He's
so-
actually a really I follow him. He's
Is
a
he one
good
we
guy.
need to follow?
Yeah, Fabricio Vasquez. He's on that juice from Mexico for sure.
Okay.
You know,
So
that's what I do now. I call guys like him. I'm like, where are we going in Mexico? I haven't been to Bakarat in a while, or like all the lakes where the Americans go. You know.
yeah.
These guys, they
Okay.
they know, like one of his buddies 2 years ago weighed a 18-pounder
Oh my gosh.
on a
Largemouth?
lake
That's
down
awesome.
there.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
An 18-pound largemouth
Yeah.
bass.
You know how many
Good.
days we struggle for an 18-pound limit?
Yeah.
He got it in one fish.
Yeah.
on a lake that probably nobody ever heard of it, you
Yeah.
know, and it's crazy. I mean, I'm telling you, Mexico is like a jewel that hasn't been like you can go out there and just it's crazy the amount of things you can do, the amount of fish you can fish for, like giant tarpon like half a mile from the coast, and you go to Florida here and you struggle like
Oh yeah.
2 days to like get hooked up 2 times 3 times,
Right.
and you go over there and you struggle not to get bit, whatever you throw in there, you
Yeah.
I
You
like
get-
that.
you get your arm broken by like giant tarpon like half a mile from the coast, and
That's awesome.
it's like every cast you're hooking a giant.
I think we need a guide trip.
Yeah.
I think it's time to
I
take.
think
we'll
we need
take it.
to contact Fabricio, man.
Fabrizio. There you go. So how do you say that? Saludos desde Guadalajara, Mexico.
Saludos desde Guadalajara,
Now,
Mexico.
you say it a hell of a lot faster than I could. Saludos desde Guadalajara, Mexico.
They actually fish on Lake Chapala. If that lake is not on your radar, it's like the mini it's like Okeechobee in Mexico.
That's cool.
So like a lot of people go to Mexico for like the highland reservoirs in
like
Mexico.
Lanier, kind of the clearer water.
Yeah, Clearwater, mountain lakes like Bakarat, El Salto, Comedero, Lake Comedero. So all of those are like up in the mountains,
Yeah.
and they're like deep. They're not like super clear water, but they're like deep, rocky, just points, humps, things like that.
Yeah.
But then like if you go where he's at in Guadalajara, it's the biggest lake in Mexico. They didn't knew that lake had bass until 2015.
Oh wow.
They didn't knew it.
That's
Like-
crazy.
Like nobody, like, only like a few people knew it, and it was like they kept it, and it's the biggest lake in Mexico, bro.
That's
It's
wild.
Well,
crazy.
what did they think it had in it?
God
Was it
only
just the
knows.
grass made it
It's-
inaccessible?
It's,
or?
like it's not a pretty lake. It's kind of like in the middle of. It's not a city. I wouldn't call it a city, but like there's no commercial fishing. Like the lake gets a lot of like trash, if you wanna, like you don't see trash, but it's not like clean water.
Right,
Like,
gotcha.
you like even people in Mexico are not really eating fish from that lake.
It's like
You
Lake
know?
Louisville in Texas. Have you
Yeah.
ever fished Lake
Like,
Louisville?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fun
Sort
to
of,
catch them, but
yeah.
don't eat that fish
Yeah,
over there.
it's
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, but like I'm not there to eat fish, bro. I'm
Yeah.
there to punch
Yeah.
and to flip,
Oh, punch. it.
and it's like punching. I mean, it's the biggest lake. It's like a Okeechobee, bro.
That's awesome.
And you're flipping and punching in like 4 feet of water, 5 feet of water, and I mean they're just butter balls.
And that's where the 18-pounder came from?
No,
Oh no, that's not
He ain't
that.
gonna tell us
You're
that.
not gonna get that from me that easy.
Oh,
man.
man, I thought if I snuck it in there real quick, you'd slip up, man. This guy's
No.
sharp.
check Lake well, what's that? I forgot the name already. Chapala, yeah.
Chapala.
Lake Chapala is awesome.
Have you been there?
And
No.
Oh,
you
okay.
can get on a plane from Atlanta Airport, International Airport. There's a flight at 10 a.m. and you're fishing in Lake Chapala by 1:30 p.m. that same day.
That's awesome.
How much are the tickets?
The flights are like $200, $300.
Let's go.
And then the food over there, you spend like $20 on a meal or less, and you're eating like a king. And then,
Why are we not doing this?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's go.
I mean, your show needs to go to Mexico, man.
Yeah.
You got a
heard
show on
that.
the road, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
The real
yeah.
American road trip.
There you go. Let's
Go to
take it to
Mexico.
Mexico.
All right,
That's
you heard
still
that.
part of America.
It is, yeah,
You
North
know.
America.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
still
I'll
part
fish
of
in a mud
America.
puddle. I'll do that. But that's pretty cool. Out of Atlanta on a plane, 10 o'clock in Mexico, fishing by 1:30.
Yeah, I done
pretty
it.
awesome.
That's why I'm telling you that, because I done it before multiple times.
And
Like
it doesn't
I
seem
call
like a
my
very
buddy
long
down there.
trip.
I'm like, dude, I got nothing to do next week. What you got down there? They're biting. He's like, yeah. So I just I fly.
That's cool.
I mean, it's cheaper to go there than Florida. To me, it's cheaper to go to go to Mexico. And then you go to Florida and you're struggling down there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no,
At least there you don't have the pressure Okeechobee has.
Yeah.
We need to put that on our radar.
Yeah.
All right, so now, okay, so we got about 30 minutes left, but I want to make sure we cover all that you do, because I know we've talked about everybody else, but this show, you're the guest tonight, so we know you got this established social media. You fish, but you also hunt.
Yeah.
You like to hunt, so you've got, what's your hunting channel again?
Señor Cazador.
That he's
Señor
got that.
Cazador,
He's got
yes.
that. So, in the Latino community, because I imagine you're still targeting Latinos
Yes,
with this.
100%.
So how big is the hunting?
I wouldn't say
You know.
targeting. That's a pretty aggressive word. Catering.
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 Okay, that's actually
No, I'm
actually
just
very.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm
but
messing with you.
but it's true catering. I mean, but how big is the Latino community in the hunting world?
Yeah, it's pretty big as well.
And not just Georgia, just in
just to
general.
put it in perspective, right? So in this side of the world, we have Canada, U.S., Brazil, which is pretty big, and then like a few of the islands, and then everybody else is Spanish speaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
You got all Mexico, which is just Mexico City. It's like someone is gonna correct me, but it's like 15 million or something like
It's
that.
a big
crazy.
town. It's a big town.
And then you have all Central America, and then you have all South America, and now we have bass spreading through you have largemouth bass in Colombia, you have largemouth bass in Honduras and Guatemala,
Really?
and all of Mexico, and not only largemouth bass, but you have all the other stuff. So it's a big culture, and it's a big crowd of people that now I'm one of the bunch, if you want to say it. Now there's a lot more content creators now in Spanish, so we kind of have to share the crowd, but yeah, my hunting channel, of course I have my fishing channel, but I put out 30 videos, and in 30 videos it hit 100,000 subscribers.
That's awesome.
100,000 in 30 videos, and that just goes to show you the necessity. It is not because my videos are amazing or
You're
whatever.
providing value to the community
but
that
just
needs it. Yeah.
ethical hunting, deer, whitetail hunting, turkey hunting, and just the normal, that is very normal here in the U.S.
Right.
And there's hundreds of channels out there, but there hasn't been that I want to say I consider myself kind of like a bridge
Yeah.
between both cultures. I've been very fortunate and blessed that most of my life I've been living here, and I have a ton of Latino friends, but I also have a ton of white guys from Loganville, Georgia.
I was waiting to see how he would say that.
White guys from anywhere on this country, and and like you say, fishing and hunting is a universal language.
Yeah.
And I just pretty much, I wouldn't say copy and page, like or copy and paste. Sorry,
Right.
But like I don't bang my head in the wall like saying what am I gonna like. What kind of content am I supposed to do?
Right.
It's right there. Like I consume it all the time. Like Seek One. I'm pretty sure you heard
Oh,
about
yeah.
Seek
Oh, I
One.
know the sequel one. Yeah.
Like all those guys. Like I love their stuff. So I'm like, so who's doing like Seek One stuff? And
They're not.
in
Yeah.
the Latino. Like no
Yeah.
one is doing that. So that's where I jump in.
You know what? You said something, and I guess as an American, as one of these white guys, just from
White
Dawsonville, you just said something that kind of caught my attention, and is that sometimes I think we as Americans feel like we're the center of the universe
Yeah.
a little bit.
Bubble.
We're in a bubble.
Mhm.
Everything runs around us. But when you start saying Canada, United States, some of the islands, yeah, that's the
And
English
Brazil,
in
and that's
Brazil. But there is probably far more people that
Oh, a
speak
lot more.
Spanish and that we really
this
honestly don't
continent.
think about. I
No.
mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't come in to the shop thinking about what fishing is in Colombia
Yeah.
and all that. But when you said that, I kind of was like sitting there thinking, and I like having my eyes opened a little bit to kind of like, yeah, he's right. It's a big ass world out there, and
Yeah,
we
it's
feel like
crazy.
everything revolves around Lake Lanier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but when you said
And
that,
Latham.
and Latham Reservoir, right?
Yeah.
But when you said that, I was kind of like, he's right, and nobody ever really talks about that.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
you are providing that link between our culture that you grew up in,
Yeah.
and then your heritage,
Yeah.
down
Which
there.
which to our defense here, we could be an example to the world how like the US has taken care of their resources, and I think a lot of the countries in like other countries in Latin America
Mhm.
and even in Europe can take away from it, the way that we have preserve and just take care of the resources that we have here by laws and limits and
Right.
just everything else. So I'm a big adequate for that. I think that's how you say it.
Advocate.
Advocate.
For, like,
sorry.
So,
conservation.
so you
Yeah.
teaching me Spanish? I'm
Yeah.
doing advocate. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like one of my major things. That's why I put a few events together a year for people to come and experience like a fishing tournament, where you have to release the fish, like
Right.
you don't keep the fish. And like now the Latino world has evolved into that, and like the hunting world as well. Like we're not shooting a spiky or a 4-pointer,
Right.
that's only a 1-year-old or one and a half year old. So just I see myself, I have taken that as my job to put out, put content like that where I'm entertaining, but I'm also educating people.
Yeah.
And not everyone. A lot of Latinos probably know more than what I know. But I'm pretty sure there's still some work that it needs to be done in the world,
Right.
as far as like taking care of your resources,
Yeah.
and US is probably the number one as far as like taking care of the resources and making sure that that's gonna last to the next generation and the next generation. So we can give the US a pat on the back for that.
Yeah, we did
because,
something right.
yeah, they're an example for the rest of the world for that, for sure.
But I can flip that a little bit in that you were talking about, down in Central America and all that. A lot of people still eat fish because number one, they need to.
Yeah.
It's the way of life and in their culture and all. And then sometimes I think up here, if we as Americans sometimes can do the exact opposite. When somebody wants to eat a fish, man, they're getting spit upon and they're getting thrown down a little bit.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy. And there's people that still need, even in America, on this road right here, that they catch fish because they need, and they eat them because they need to. And that's okay.
I'm not that extremist, and I'm not for that.
But that exists.
Yeah, one time one of my good buddies in Mexico told me, he's like, if everybody would just fish with a rod and reel and just eat whatever they catch with the rod and reel, we will have fish forever. Like we were never like devastated. And actually, that wasn't in Mexico. That was in Colombia, because there were 10 ships from Asia. I'm not gonna say the country.
Yeah.
In the Colombian coast waters
catching fish
by the tons.
Yeah.
Not by a limit, 12 fish limit,
Yeah.
They were catching fish by the ton, tons of fish. And he like, what's gonna devastate our world
is that
Yeah.
if everyone would just own a rod and a reel, just one.
Yeah.
And just and just learn the basic. I mean, fish are not like super smart, like they're not. I mean, they Lanier spotted bass.
The Lanier spotted bass out over deep
but
timber.
You know why that is, right? Because nobody takes them home.
That's true.
They get educated.
I'm telling you, spotted bass makes a mean taco.
I see one and I throw at it, and as soon as I see the way he reacts, I'm like, okay, educated fish. I'm not.
You can tell.
I'm not interested on that fish. Yeah, and they make awesome. I had spotted bass. Oh yeah, I had
not largemouth. They're kind of mushy, but spotted bass,
especially in the wintertime. I feel like a spotted bass. Like I'll eat fish.
You did a catch and cook recently, right?
Yeah.
You post your limit from
that was
tuna, right?
Tuna,
yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Because you got to cull out those small, especially like that 12 to 16 inch spotted bass, because they're eating all this bait, and it's like I want those fish to get bigger. So like doing your part, it's like all of us have a 5 fish limit, and it's like we never ever cash that in. It's like we have all these credits, if you will, of these fish that like every time we go out and fish, we don't cash that in. So what is that doing? Like that's a law. Like that's a something that's established of like we all have our creel limit of fish, and like if all of us kept our limit, like it still wouldn't change.
It would probably benefit.
Much. It would definitely benefit.
It would probably
well,
helps.
Yeah,
I tell you, like Lanier spotted bass are amazing.
Yeah,
they're delicious, especially from Emil's brush piles.
Yes,
those taste the best. Right?
those are amazing. From Emil's Wagner brush piles. Those are the best.
But we're now being told by biologists that we should be keeping our limit each day, and that the catch and release is actually detrimental on the whole. And I've heard, there's arguments to both sides of that, and I've heard that. Sean says my wife's family thinks I should eat all the fish I catch. My father-in-law did. He didn't. Every time we went fishing, I'm out there and we had a small 5-acre or 10-acre lake, and there was an island, and I'd go sit him on that island. He had his bass minnows. He would just throw shiners. Every fish he caught went on a stringer. I'm on the kayak or the canoe going around, not the kayak, canoe, because I haven't been up, but the canoe going around, and I'm catching and releasing. He felt like he wanted to eat them. And they were just so nasty. These largemouth, but we ate them, and I had a smile on my face every time my mother-in-law cooked them. And that's great. But spotted bass are different. They're good table fare.
It just they are what they eat, and they have an amazing diet in Lanier.
Yes, that's true. That is very true.
Like any fish can taste really good, and any fish can taste really bad. It just depends what they're eating.
And they move around a lot too. Like that. Like they'll be shallow, they'll be deep, they'll be swimming all over the place. They got a lot of muscle, but they also maintain a lot of fat too. So like that fillet is always like
if you're eating herring every day. I mean, even like herring. If you try herring,
I've had herring.
You try to that's like sardines.
I love sardines.
Those are amazing.
I love sardines.
And these guys are eating herring every single day.
They'll tell you right now, sardine is one of the healthiest things that a human being can eat. For all the oil. And so I guess it makes sense if fish are eating that. They're healthy. Now, fish are friends, not food. How do you say that first name? Because that doesn't look like Jose.
With us. Josue Mendez.
Josue?
Josue Mendez.
Josue Mendez. I knew it wasn't Jose because they added a U in there. And I knew it was something different. But but here, kind of back to that thing though. But here in America, if somebody is posting they're eating fish, there's always somebody in the comment section. You should be releasing those fish. You should be doing this. So the same thing with a small deer. You should let it grow. You should do that. I don't know, but I think that seems to be an American thing.
Yeah. And, like how you get rid of that issue is that at one point you don't care about what the comments say.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of negative comments on your channel?
Like from day one, And,
really?
Yeah. Because see, like I grew up in a little bit of a predicament because I came here when I was 11. Well, like 10. So I never like really learned like proper Spanish all the way.
Right.
And I
yeah.
never really learned proper English all the way. So I'm like in the mix, like in the
Yes.
middle. So I get like some like hate comments from like the Latinos as well, as far as like like what am I saying, and like the way that I say things, sometimes. But yeah, I mean, you anybody that is being successful or anything is gonna get haters.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're out there everywhere.
And anybody, like, if people they're just jealous because they're not eating the fish you're eating. Like
Yeah.
just,
It's crazy. People will fuss about the dangest things sometimes.
so at one point
especially you sissies not eating sardines there, Michael Temples and Richard DeLine. I'm telling you, sardines.
Oh, they're
one
amazing.
of God's perfect foods, right there.
Yeah, they're amazing.
So, it's all about the size. Humans are jealous people. My truck is bigger. My house is bigger, and so on and so forth, as we men like to do, and all that. So you know where I'm going with that. But it is true. But it's you could put out the most wholesome content on YouTube, and somebody's going to find a way to fuss about it.
Yeah, 100%.
And
that's the sad thing is like we have guys like you that are actually bringing value and giving to a community, but like that gets overshadowed by the latest hot negative topic about this or that. Like you've got guys like Carl Jochumson giving $1,000 to somebody doing a good deed each Elite Series tournament this year, but nobody talks about that.
I never heard about it.
It gets overshadowed by all this negative comments and these rules change and all this stuff, but you don't hear about the good guys as much anymore. So the more and more that we advocate for these good guys that are giving back to the sport, doing awesome tournaments like that you've put on, Toys for Tots, things like that. Like we don't get to see it enough. Sometimes we see it in our own community, but the world doesn't get to see it. Yeah. Like the only fishing news that's ever made the news was the walleye thing, and that was all total negative scandal. Like why isn't us giving back and doing river cleanups and doing these benefit tournaments? Why isn't that on the news? And so like the more and more that we push and advocate for it, the better.
It's like a car wreck. You're going down 400. Everybody stops to look at the car wreck, but nobody ever stops to look at the traffic just flowing. Fine. So I totally get that.
Or stop to help.
Stop to help. Yeah, for sure. So
I mean, look at Lanier. So I feel. Hey, I'm new to that.
Go ahead.
But I just sit back and watch. I'm like, man, like people are really, really getting all this dramatic because of this fish.
I have been a part of drama on Lanier, and I have learned through trial and error to just shut up, sit over here, mind your own business, and then just let them all deal with it.
It's crazy.
And like Emil would say, just catch 5-pounders in community holes. Because why not?
Yeah, why not? but it is like that. So,
but it's just like
who's your harshest critics? Latinos or Americans?
I say probably I hang out with Latinos, a bit more. So I'll probably
just by numbers, sheer numbers.
Yeah, I'll probably say Latinos, and like I say, it's not really popular to like. I know we're filming right now a like a deer hunting video,
right?
And I got ready, already. I passed like a really nice 8-pointer,
right?
And I mean, I probably regret it like in January.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, I felt like I needed to pass him, but I know I'm gonna get demolished on the
comment. Oh yeah.
They're gonna be, you dumb,
sure.
You're so like, and what do you think you are? And just but you can't be worrying about that.
You can't please everybody.
Yeah.
You can't.
And with that fish too, like releasing, like if I do tournaments and things like that, you always get like people still not understanding why you're releasing fish. Like fish are meant for food.
Yeah.
You can't release them. Like why? Like you're torturing fish pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get a few of those as well. But I stopped like paying attention to like negative comments like that, because for one bad comment you get like 10 or 20 like really, really good comments. So
for sure,
I don't even respond. I just give them like a heart, like I saw your comment and that's it.
That's the best thing you can do.
Kill them with kindness and love.
Yeah. Well, more people need the kindness and love for sure. So
Yeah.
I tell you what, so I told you, you know, when you came on, you know, when we were talking about what we're going to talk about, I said I wanted to just sit around and talk like we're at a deer camp at a campfire. And so we've covered fishing, we've covered geopolitics and culture or whatever, not so much politics and all that. Sardine. Guys, listen, I'm
El
telling you.
hombre.
El hombre. And all my terrible Spanish, but I'm going to say this. I've enjoyed the conversation. You know, lots of times we get caught up in how did you catch this? How did you catch that? And we don't just sit here and have a conversation about things. So, I mean, I've really enjoyed the conversation tonight.
Oh, me too.
And I've definitely enjoyed all the Spanish comments in there that I can't read just because new viewers expose it. And so, and that's, again, you talk about, you know, building that bridge between the two cultures. Well, I mean, it's evident in the comment section tonight. So I think what you're doing is pretty awesome. And,
yeah, it was a long time coming because I know we've been, you know, talking.
It's
2
been
years.
a while. It seems like we've been communicating through other people.
Yeah.
So finally, I got your number, and that's great. So like, number one, it's going to be pretty cool now to follow. Now again, I can't watch your YouTube channel till you get
subtitles, Danny. Subtitles.
I need some subtitles. Do they have that? Can I get that? I mean,
I feel like you can.
there might be a setting.
They're
I can press a
not.
button.
They're not going to be super accurate, but I think you can.
As long
They'll
as
be
I
close
get, as
enough,
long as I get the general idea, but because I like watching the videos and all that.
But the thing is fishing is a universal language. Like that's what we've been talking about this whole time. It's like me and you could go fly to Mexico right now and go link up with his buddies, and we'd still like figure out a way to go out, catch fish, and have fun because we all have that universal language. Like we don't have to speak it. Yeah. Like we can fly to Japan right now and do the same thing. It doesn't matter the culture or the bridge. Like fishing is our universal language between 100%. Us all.
I think,
and there's not many sports like that. Like we can't pick up and go play
golf,
football, or
tennis,
golf, or
definitely football because there's two different footballs. Football. Hey, real quick, have you ever fished Sinclair?
Sinclair.
That's down by Oconee, down middle Georgia.
No, ever.
Okay, so there you go. So maybe he's got to make a trip down there. Yeah. Derek O says YouTube subtitles are pretty good. I watched a few of his vids last night, so I'll try that.
Thank you.
And then I ain't got to. Okay, hold on a second. Alberto Saucedo Valdez.
See, they're bullying us now.
What's he saying?
He's like, learn how to speak Spanish.
I tell you what. I'm going to. Let's do this. I'm going to put down in my calendar 1 year from today. Mm-hmm. I'm going to invite you back. I'm going to go ahead and if you're, or within a given, if you're in the area, I am going to commit. I'm going to right here.
You like to make this kind of bets, huh? He likes to make this kind of bets.
I'm going to commit to learning Spanish over the next 365 days, so that I can read what you guys are saying about me in the comment section right there. And I think I will.
Yeah, you should.
I'm 52. What the hell? I need a new hobby.
You can always learn. You learn something new every day.
It might be the worst redneck sounding Spanish you ever heard. Is there country Spanish? You know?
Yes.
Oh, there is.
Oh yeah. Like whatever we have here, like country and all the above, we have it in Spanish too.
So you got them Spanish people
like
out there.
Any country that you go to, like if you go to Cuba, I even have a hard time understanding a Cuban sometimes.
Right.
Because they speak like that. Oye, ven para acá. Trae la cabeza para acá. It's crazy, you know. It's like a machine gun.
Well, just tell me what he says. I don't even know what he's saying.
Veremos Mexico. No, lo minas arriba. He said Mexico has the best bass and the most bass over 10 pounds.
I believe you, Alberto, or what? How you say his first name?
Abelardo.
I said Alberto.
Abelardo Saucedo.
Abelardo. You put a V sound.
Abelardo.
It don't have no V in there though.
It's
A-B, but you went V or B. Abba or Ava?
Abelardo.
Abelardo.
There's too much slang in there.
Thank you, Abelardo, for joining us tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of slang. For sure.
I did learn some on the construction job sites when I did heating and air. So I know some stuff I can't repeat.
Yeah, and not only that, it's just like the way people talk in like different countries.
Call me Abe. Call me Abe. Thank you, Abe. Like that. I love it. But listen, let's go ahead. I mean, we're definitely going to keep in touch.
For sure.
You know, because, hey, once you come on here, you're friends like that of us. Definitely we're going to keep in touch. But I am going to put a note.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo. You ever heard about Cinco de Mayo?
I've had quite a few drinks to Cinco de Mayo, 1 or 2 in my time. So that's what, 4 months? 4 or 5 months?
May. You got like 6
7
or
months.
7.
Okay,
yeah.
so we're gonna have you back on at Cinco de Mayo. Let's do that.
You gonna
Right
be
in
in
there.
your sombrero or no?
I wear a sombrero. I might even wear underwear to that one too. So like that. So, but I'm gonna see how much Spanish I can learn between now and Cinco de Mayo.
I like it.
You know what I'm doing? What is that you can get?
Duolingo.
Yeah.
There's these apps you can get
Yeah.
where you just learn it.
Rosetta Stone.
You just play
Rosetta
some
Stone.
games. Yeah, Rosetta Stone.
People gonna be
Oh,
coming in the shop.
just
Everything's gonna
watch-
be in Spanish.
Just watch Univision for the rest of until.
Go! That's my Spanish. Go! Like that. But listen, dude, I've had a great time talking to you tonight and all that. So I
Yeah, same
appreciate
here.
you coming up and again, culturing us a little bit. Let us think outside the box and how things are. Because again, I wasn't trying to down us as Americans, but sometimes we get in our own little closet and we don't think about fishing all over the world, other than Japan, because every daggum bait now comes from Japan and all that. But I think it'd be really cool. I'm gonna try to learn Spanish just for him. Do I have any FNGO sweatshirts? Not yet. Not yet. You'll know as soon as I get them. I'm wanting to get them very soon. And we'll try to do that, especially if it gets really, really cold. But I want to do that just so it's a gap. It's just one little thing you can help bridge that gap. But
For sure.
But kudos to you, seriously. On again, I don't know what he's saying. Like tequilas. I see tequilas. Is that tequilas right there?
No, he's.
Aw.
Oh yeah. Te esperamos en Cuchillo. So we wait for you in Cuchillo, Lake Cuchillo, with some tequila whenever you want. You're
Nice.
invited down there. Lake Cuchillo is awesome. I'm telling you, we need to talk. After
Yes.
I know we gotta go, but
I
if you want to
like
bring
that.
your show
will.
down there, we can definitely make that happen for sure.
That'd be really
100%.
cool.
Well, thank you, Abe. Right there. Thank you, Abe, very much. We should do it. It'd be
People
a
in
fun time.
Mexico are awesome.
Well, see, I just want to have fun with everybody.
Yeah.
What time we be at the shop in the morning tomorrow, Danny? About 8:30. I will be here, but I will be leaving at 2:00 because I've got to go to Canton because I'm a keynote speaker at a bass club tomorrow. I forget the name of the bass club, but it's in Canton, and I'm gonna go talk to them and act like I know what I'm talking about, just like I do every Tuesday and Thursday night right here on the show. So again, though, seriously, thank you very much. Enjoy, making your acquaintance and starting this friendship with us, with you in Fish North Georgia. And I just wish you the most success in what you do. And listen, I get the vibes that you're just a good dude, and we need more people like you in the world.
Thank you. Same here. Wishing nothing but the best. I've been a fan for a long, long time. For some reason, like your YouTube shorts are. I don't know if you're seeing that on the analytics, but they're pretty popular.
Well, good.
Keep working on the shorts. Keep working on the reels.
Yeah,
they get suggested to me all the time.
that's
For
good.
some
We're
reason,
doing
that's
something
good.
right. So
yeah,
thank you.
Wishing nothing but the best, and whatever I can do to help out.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it
Let me
right
know.
there. So
Let me
again,
know.
thank you. Thank you very much. Alex, thank you for your continuing to do a fine job as you get used to it back there. And of course,
Gracias, Alex.
Gracias.
Gracias. You guys and your R's. Gracias, Alex, and gracias, Clint. And again, hey, listen, this Thursday, Trent Palmer with Sonar Pros will be on the live well, and we are going to do sonar. If you've got any questions about sonars, how to set them up, the electronics, anything, your batteries, whatever has to do with electricity and sonar on your bass boat to make sure you got it, we're definitely going to have that for you Thursday night. And as far as a link for the toys for Tots, really right now, the simplest thing is we're not doing any online signups. You got to either go to Beaver Dam Bait and Tackle or come here, but you can message me on Facebook if you got any questions, and there'll be a lot more information coming. So with that, Juan, say your last name. Chacon. Chacon. Juan Chacon, thank you very much. You guys, listen, go out there and check Señor Bass and whatever the hell the name of your hunting channel is. Say that again.
Señor Cazador.
Señor Cazador. Get the subtitles. Enjoy his content. We'll see you guys Thursday night. Y'all have a great night.